Welcome to the first episode of Shelf Life. This is a series that I've wanted to make for a very long time now. There are so many people in the sport of disc golf, and there are so many stories to be told. On a week-by-week basis, we're generally seeing the players that play the big tournaments and the scorecards that go along with that. But behind all of that are a big group of people who don't often see the limelight. There are people building big retail operations. There are people installing courses. There are people running and organising tournaments every week. And Shelf Life wants to tell those stories. And for the first episode, we have Tom Sutton, aka Tomahawk Discs, from Bristol in the UK. Tom's built a strong presence in UK disc golf and is clearly someone who puts a lot into the community and the sport around him. So I wanted to sit down with him and ask him how he got into disc golf, why he started Tomahawk Discs, and what the reality is of starting a disc golf business. My name is Bubba, this is Shelf Life, and this is Tom Sutton from Tomahawk Discs. Tom, thank you so much for spending some time with me today to kind of go through your journey and who you are. But for people who don't know, who is Tom and what is Tomahawk?
So, hi, I'm Tom Sutton. I've been playing disc golf since 2022, and I've owned Tomahawk Discs since 2023.
How do you describe Tomahawk Discs?
It's like it's my passion project, really. Like, I started it as like a oh, this would be really cool, and then it's just kind of grown from there, really. And it's just
How did it all start off? Was there like a factor or a situation which you were like, do you know what, I'm gonna start a disc golf company?
Yeah. So, well, I originally started playing disc golf through my brother. So my brother lives in Canada, and he lives near Calgary, near a course called Baker's Park, which is the 5th most played course in North America. It's a really busy course. And we were out there for his wedding over the summer of 2022, and we were out there for like 3 weeks. And the week after his wedding, it was just me, him, my cousin, and his wife. And we tried disc golf out, and I think we played like 6 rounds in 7 days after that, or something like that, crazy. And then I had like 3 discs in my suitcase on the way home, and U-Disc downloaded, and Ashton Court is like 3 miles from my house, so it's like, oh, perfect, here we go, this new hobby. And then for the actual company itself, it actually started with trying to do some like custom discs for the disc golf club. I started reaching out to like Discraft and MVP and Innova about getting custom stamped discs for the club, and I wanted to see what the process was like and how that would be. And I'd always thought in the back of my mind, like, someone should start a disc golf store for Bristol. And it was originally supposed to be just a local, like, this is for the Bristol guys. Like, it'd be great to have like someone that had all the discs and all that stuff. And it was so accessible getting information back from all those big companies, and like, you expect it to be like such a process that it was really accessible. I found it really easy to like make connections in those companies and sort that out. So I got a big run of custom Yeti disc golf Discraft discs, and then had all the contacts into like ordering stuff, and was like having like not really enjoying my software job at the time as well, and was like, I could probably build a website in my free time. Started working with that, and then was like, I wonder how hard it would be to order discs. And that was it, honestly, that was it. I ordered some MVP discs like a month after the Discraft discs, and that was my first like drop of discs, and I just carried on from there, really.
It's crazy how quickly it all happens, isn't it?
So fast, honestly.
Yeah. I feel your journey very much. It's very, very similar in that way. So we've chosen Ashton Court as the venue for this video today.
Yeah.
Does it kind of hold a special place for you in that regards?
100%. Yeah, this is where I learned to play disc golf properly, you know, like outside of those 8 rounds. This is my home course. I've played it almost 200 times now since I came back, and I love it. It's where I learned to throw. It's where I learned to throw far.
I mean, you've run a number of tournaments.
Yeah,
too,
it's
right?
where I started TDing as well. I mean, it's why we're here for the weekend for the tour event. and I've met so many new friends through disc golf here at Ashton Court. So this is definitely got a really special place in my heart. It's my home.
I love that. And how long was it between you finding disc golf in Calgary and then you starting a disc golf company?
Just over a year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was July in 2022. I played my first disc golf round, and then I opened Tomahawk Discs August 2023. So it was a pretty quick turnaround, honestly.
That is rapid. I feel like we need a bit of a leaderboard for everyone. How quickly that all kind of turns around into being a disc golf company.
Yeah, from your first round to opening your company. How quick is it? Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so you were saying when you started Tomahawk, you were kind of filling a gap in regards to getting discs for the club.
Mm-hmm.
How's that relationship with the club been?
I mean, yeah, great. It's like those guys are awesome. That's always been the connection between the club and Tomahawk Discs. Like, I come and run the tournaments and stuff like that, and I'm a committee member on the club as well, so that kind of helps with that. So I just the club has always been like at the core of Tomahawk Discs as well. So yeah.
Where does community come in to your business vision?
I mean, it's like right from the start, honestly. I mean, from starting with the custom discs and stuff, I've always wanted to be like that friendly neighborhood disc golf store where you can ask me whatever questions you have. You can help, like I can help you fill a hole in your bag and stuff like that. And that's why I love coming to the tournament stops as well, because it's not just about Bristol anymore. It's about the whole community. And
I was going to say, it feels like your neighborhood is the whole country.
Yeah, it kind of has come that way. Yeah, especially this year with sponsoring the tour as well. That's been about like, I want to get to every stop that I can, really. I like schedule permitting and meet all these people, get discs in hands, that kind of stuff, you know.
So do you think that that kind of trifecta is really important in regards to kind of facilitating your local club, being at all the events and seeing all of the community, but also having that online store so you can ship? Yeah. Well, you can ship globally, really, but like. Yeah,
100%. I think nothing beats having a disc in your hand and feel like you can know if you like a disc within a few seconds of having it, right? But obviously we can't be at every tournament, and you're going to need discs in between them and stuff like that. So having an online store is always really important, and it was so important for like the ease of like just setting it up, you know, because I was up and running like a month after I had the idea, basically, and in terms of like the spending, it meant everything could go into the stock, and I could, apart from like hosting a website, that was the big expense for the business at the start, you know?
Yeah, so it sounds like us, we were just waiting for the discs to come in, and then to process that first batch of discs before you went live. Yeah,
basically.
How were you feeling at the point where you put out your first social post being like, Tomahawk is live?
I was so nervous, honestly, because I wasn't fully sure at the time, like, if I'd got everything right in terms of the website. I really wanted it to be like, I mean, you guys and Ace were like the benchmark at the time, you know, at the time of like the flight numbers, the photos of every disc, the weight on every disc, all that stuff is so important. And I wanted Tomahawk to like leave like disc golf retail in a better place than when it started with the UK.
Yeah, and I feel like you pushed that forward, right? You started doing the side profiles of every disc.
I think that's just another like step in the right direction in terms of like you want to replicate that thing of like you can feel a disc and know if you like it. How can we get as close to that as possible online?
So, how domey is it? How flat is it? Like, you know, what's the parting line like?
That's important.
Sure. So I feel like you're constantly improving on where we left disc golf, and
I'm definitely trying to.
No, I really appreciate that. Like that's incredible stuff. What do you feel like? What would you like to do next? Are there any goals that you have in regards to the store, or maybe events that you just don't have the time or resources for, that would be like a dream goal for you?
There's 100%. There's like the medium-term goals of like, I'd love to get more brands in. I'd love to stock Zuka carts. I'd love to stock pound like stuff, and all of that is really limited by, honestly, like storage space and stuff like that at the moment. It's a big like risk every time you get a new brand in, because you don't know if it's going to sell well, you don't know what's going to sell well, and that's a lot of like upfront money that you have to put in to learn that, you know, because like there's stuff from my very first MVP order that hasn't sold yet, and that was 2023, right? Like I'm never buying another electron anode in my life, you know, but like someone out there wants it, obviously.
Yeah.
But now like 3 years in, I know like what the UK disc golfers want from MVP, like, and I have a good idea of what's going to do well, and I think you learn that the hard way sometimes. Yeah.
Definitely. We always had a weird mindset on like the disc golfers here in the UK want this just because we're stocking it.
Yeah.
Or do they want something else but we're not stocking it? Like it's an ever growing question, and, and you're always questioning yourself about stock, and we only wish that we could have £80,000 in the big warehouse and stock everything.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
You know, that, I feel like that's always the goal, right?
Yeah.
Talking about where you want it to be, what did you think Tomahawk was going to be when you started it? And what, how much has it outgrown that vision?
I think in my head it was like local store, maybe brick and mortar in the future, and just have like a local place where people could meet up and buy discs and all that stuff. And it's so gone in a direction I didn't expect it to. But at the same time, like it's been awesome, like expanding the horizons and meeting all these other people. But like at the same time, I have like I've deliberately not done a lot of stuff as well. Like I've not really messed with like shipping to Europe or the US and stuff like that. I just feel like it's not the market for Tomahawk Discs at the same time. So as much as I want to sell to the whole of the UK, that's kind of the limit. Although I do actually make it a point to ship and support Irish disc golf as much as I can as well, because they really are doing great things over there and need the support. I mean, they don't even have a disc golf store anymore. They had one for a year and it's gone again. So
it's really savage. It's really unfortunate. But like, you hold this mentality too, and that is, we're so small here in the UK. We're such a niche sport, and that collaboration is so important. And I feel like a lot of people here, business-wise, don't want to do that. You know, they're very much like, no, we're not going to do anything over here or whatever. Whereas what truly needs to happen is everyone just needs to come together and kind of build the sport together. Yeah,
for sure. And you're definitely right with that. It's like the sport, you need to build the sport, because it's a small pie right now in terms of like viable businesses, you know. If disc golf doesn't grow, there's not room for any other businesses in disc golf, whether that's coaching, whether that's pro players, whether that's tournament payouts and people wanting to like take the next step through tournaments. Like it's not really a thing that is possible if disc golf just stays at the level it's at in the UK. You know, it will support a few retailers and a few disc golf courses. And that's it.
I feel like it needs to be as inclusive as possible. And
definitely.
I think that's only going to happen if certain people push it that way. You know. Talking about sacrifice and it only supporting you know, a number of businesses, how I feel like when you're a disc golfer and you're thrown around and like, you know, I get the comments quite a lot, it must be amazing running a company, and you're right, it is, right? You've got a warehouse full of discs, you've got all of the fancy plastic around. If anything, it does your wallet pretty bad.
But
on that side too, I know personally it does cost quite a lot. In sacrifice, which a lot of people don't see. With Tomahawk, are you able to go into like what it's cost you personally?
Sure. Yeah.
Outside of money, you know, like.
Not
just run it down as well.
The spreadsheet
here is my P&L.
Well, yeah. I mean, I won't go into complete like figures first, but I didn't take any money out of Tomahawk for 2.5 years. everything that I got went straight back in to build it and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it's
it's the main way you grow your stock, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, everything, any profit you make, and it takes a while. The like turnaround on like from when you buy an order of stock and when it actually like breaks even is a lot longer than people think. Like
margins are very slim.
Yeah,
and I don't know your margins, but I know for a fact it's not much.
Yeah,
because we always want to stay competitive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and you wanna get this in people's hand for as cheap as it is fair to do as well.
Exactly.
You can't. There's no point getting all this amazing stuff in if it's like 30 quid each and no one can afford it.
No.
You know.
And players are going to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Know, players going to take a feeling for that, and they're going to vote with their wallet.
Definitely. But yeah, and I mean, in terms of like hours spent on the business, I work so much longer now than when I did have a full-time job, which is really funny to say. But I started working on Tomahawk Discs as a side project, and I would do it from like 5 to 10 p.m. or something like that, and now it's just like 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. if I have like a big order in. The orders have just got bigger. I take 2 photos of every disc.
Yes.
I take 3 photos of used discs because I do back,
of course,
front, back, side because of ink, and then I've got to blur the numbers and all that stuff. So, if anything, used discs take longer, but I think it's such a big like part of the market that isn't underserved because so many people, I mean, we've had used disc deals before, like, and so many discs are like perfect, like great, could be great, like in someone's bag that are just sitting in people's storage lockers or sitting in people's like garages and stuff.
Exactly that. Like being a student of the sport, you want to throw as much as you want, and some people get really stuck on a few discs.
Yeah.
And sometimes you want to move on, and then you got like 5 of these frisbees, divide by 5, and then you've got to move it forward and kind of move it around. I'd like to go a bit deeper into a couple of those points.
Yeah, sure.
First of all, photo in discs. I feel like people think it just happens. But what's your process? Let the people know just how long it takes to get one set of photos online.
It's down to fine art now at this point, because it has to be, right? It's like it's genuinely like when you get a new order in, the majority of the time it takes is taking photos or doing the descriptions. Because you can automate as much as you want, but it's still like, there's not really any software that is going to satisfyingly be like, this disc is red with a white rim, and it's this plastic, and it's this mold. There's nothing you can write that does that for you, really. No. You know. So I've got as much of it automated as I can, but taking the photo of the front of the disc and the side of the disc, and then editing it, I remove the backgrounds of all the things, so it's as much just the disc.
Are you doing that manually?
No, I've got software.
To do that.
Yeah, that I wrote, and it works. So maybe 80 to 85% of the time.
What happens with the other 20 to 15%?
I do it manually, which is not fun. I just draw around a circle in my photo editing software and delete the backgrounds. But
what's your average number of discs you're buying per wave
order.
in? Yeah, per order.
It's about 100 to 200.
And there are some brands where you have to take pictures of every single disc.
Yeah.
Discraft it was notorious for that.
I do it anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Because there are subtle differences.
Yeah,
and we love
if there's
to be
like
picky.
swirls or different rims or slightly different patterns, like I like doing it anyway. So yeah.
Have you got to the point where you are putting like a SKU code on the back of a disc, so you know that once you've put in, oh, this is a kind of like strawberry swirl with a lemon edge, that you know it's that frisbee rather than this one that kind of looks like a strawberry swirl lemon edge?
I have done SKU codes now for the pop-up shops specifically.
Nice.
Before last year, and this was a nightmare in of itself. You want to talk about sacrifices? This was the worst thing last year, honestly. It was after every tournament, there was no there was no synchronization between the stuff that I'd sold and the website.
Oh, you're
So
talking-
after every tournament, I had to, as fast as possible when I got home,
Yeah.
take everything down. And I had a big like sign up that said like, don't buy any discs, please. Because in the rare occurrences where people were buying stuff that had been sold, it's a horrible experience for a customer to be like, oh, I just bought this disc and I
now you're
can't
telling
have
me it's
it.
not in
Like,
stock.
yeah, it's not in
100%.
stock. So,
And
yeah.
that is a trade-off with the likes of taking all your discs to an event
yeah.
and having an online store.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when we first started doing it,
Mm-hmm.
we closed down the store for the weekend.
Yeah,
So you could only get us at the event.
Honestly,
then we started
probably should have
realizing
done that,
it was,
but yeah.
It wasn't
Uh-huh.
a thing. I feel like there's a lot of business lessons to be learned, right, in regards to that event, and
yeah,
you can
for
only do that by doing.
Mhm.
Are there any other lessons that you've kind of learned along the way?
Yeah, definitely. And in terms of like there's the stuff we talked about earlier in terms of like knowing what's popular.
Oh yes,
And,
yeah.
like,
So just for context, like off camera, we were talking about how do you know what frisbees are popular?
yeah,
We've taken many a gamble
yeah,
on what we thought was going to be a knockout,
yeah,
and then nothing sells.
yeah,
And then you've got that stock sitting there. That could be £200 in itself.
yeah,
And you've only got like a limited amount of money. I don't think people realize how intricate inventory is. You've only got that amount of money.
yeah,
And you need to play with that. So maybe it's £20,000 above or beyond or whatever. You got 20 grand. Once you sell that, you can start buying some more.
Yeah.
But you have to sell it first before you can replenish. But yeah. Do you have any stories in regards to things that you thought were going to pop off and didn't?
The first order of House of Discs I did had like a whole load of some really cool discs in it, honestly. But like I hadn't quite learned the like ins and out of like the Latitude lineup and stuff like that. And I got some discs that I thought looked really good, but were black with like swirls around the outside and stuff like that. And they took so long to go. Honestly, that first order, and it was like my first like big expansion because I started with MVP and then I did Innova after that, and those were easy and have always been my most popular in terms of brands. And then I was like, right, cool, next brand, House of Discs, we'll do Latitude, we'll get Castoplast in, we'll get Discmania hadn't gone quite yet, but it was kind of been announced, and I was like, right, I'm ready for when Discmania comes. And then I got that first lot of that stuff in and was like, oh. Oh no!
What are we to do?
Yeah. Wait, now what?
What strategies do you do for discs that are kind of like sitting around?
I'll review the prices every now and then. Sometimes it's worth it to just take a loss on a disc to get it out of your inventory.
Yeah.
The mystery boxes are always great for that. I don't do them very often, but it's a great way to like kind of give some people fun stuff and get rid of some of your like really excess inventory.
There is still a lot of value there.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll always make sure that it's worth it if I do mystery boxes. Like there'll be something in there that people are like, oh, awesome.
That was what we were trying to do always with mystery boxes. It's such a we always felt feels like you do too, like a little bad. If you're doing the natural mystery box thing, which is you are getting rid of all your dead stock.
Yeah.
So we made sure that we wrapped everything in, and we made sure that everyone knew what cool stuff were in these boxes.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do
Yeah.
it. I hate that people are just like, oh, mystery box, blah, 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 and then it's just like dead item, electron putter, dead item.
10-year-old disc.
DX, like whatever.
Oh, I've just got 5 DX AVRs.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet. Thanks.
Sweet, what a mystery.
So there is a lot of, with your own bit, you were saying earlier that you put in a lot of time into your business. I found it so hard to switch off.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah.
Are you finding it the same? How do you
100%.
switch off? Because you come out and play disc golf.
Yeah,
You're like, well,
yeah,
that's actually what I do for a living.
And I do it less than I did when I had a normal job as well, because I'm just at home like red with white rim. Like, yeah. It's definitely an issue because there's discs at my house in terms of the shop's stock, so there's always stuff to do. There's deadlines in terms of release dates and stuff. I've got the photo, like I've got like a light box that's just on my desk, so I could work whenever I wanted, basically, which is a great thing and is a horrible thing at the same time. And if a customer sends me an email, I'll pull over. Like if I'm driving, I'll stop and answer like any emails. I just like answer them straight away. I'm really bad at that. And now I'm working weekends doing events. When do I have days off? Yeah, that has been an issue because, and my lovely partner Sophie was great at pointing that out to me. It's like, hey, you worked the last 2 weekends and all of the last few weeks. Are you actually going to take a day off? And I was like, oh yeah.
Do we get to date?
Yeah.
Yeah, I 100%. I remember when all the Ace boys sat down and were like, we probably need to start some office hours.
That is,
because we were answering emails at 11 p.m. and like, you know, we had Tidio, which is our web chat, on all the time. So like, whenever someone sent something through, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna reply to this. And you're like, you know, sat down at dinner with someone, you're like,
sorry, it's a customer. Like that makes it totally okay. Like,
they're asking if I'm getting any K1 recos. I am actually.
They're on the they'll be up in a few days.
It's wild. Are you just doubling down in the business? Are you okay with this? Because for me, best years of my life.
Yeah. There's a mix, right? Because there's a point where it's unhealthy and you need to have enough sleep and eat well.
Congratulations for being aware of that.
Yeah. You know, do your boring adulthood stuff, like take your mental health walks and all that stuff. So that stuff is really important. And I've gotten better at that. I've gotten better at being like, I need to put it down for a bit and actually like step away and go play disc golf instead of think about business disc golf all the time.
Yes. Yeah, and that's quite hard to do sometimes.
Oh, it's really hard to do.
That is.
And I don't know if you've had this, right? But a big issue I have with playing disc golf now is because I run a disc golf shop, I put pressure on myself to be good. And I'm actually not a very good disc golf player. Like,
why do we do that, Tom?
Honestly, I'm like, no one's going to believe me that the K1 Rico is really good to throw unless I'm 980 rated.
Yeah, I've got so much freedom now being not part of a disc golf business.
It must be really freeing in that way.
No one talks to me.
Yeah.
Like, no one asks me for advice.
Okay, yeah.
You know, like, and I just get to throw what I want and no one cares. You know, they're like, you gave me advice on that Falk the other day. It didn't play very good for you. Like well.
That sounds like a you problem now.
I found when I was on the course, a lot of people, because they're so passionate about what we do and what's coming in, and they really love Frisbee, but they'll be like, hey, when are you getting that next stock in? Are you getting this stuff in? And sometimes I was out there for a getaway because I started disc golf for a getaway from my real job, which wasn't disc golf at the time.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and then it does become this other beast. Yeah, so it's really hard. It's really hard to kind of get away from that in general. Are you still early enough in that you're finding your identity isn't in disc golf or in Tomahawk, or are you?
Oh no, I'm screwed.
Is this kind of linking into, you know, you thought you own a disc golf shop now, so you should be good.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
This is hard in.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I was like, I should be on the pro tour.
Yeah. Well, at the start, like one of the motivating factors is like, I love disc golf. It would be so cool to like do disc golf for a living, right? What's the way that we can do that in the UK? I think I once did the maths, right? If you won every tournament in the UK, you did a clean sweep, you won everything. And that's Scotland, Wales, England, Northern Ireland. I think you won like $2,000 or something like that. I was like, cool. So it's not like being a pro disc golfer in the UK is not a thing. Excellent, good to know. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, maybe I'll run a shop. And then that thought went to bed for like a year. And then I was like, oh yeah, let's try it. Yeah.
I love that. So you said, are you full-time with the shop now?
Yes, I am.
What's the story behind that? Because you said you were in software before.
Yeah, so I did a totally different job where I was writing software for the space sector, like on satellites and on a Mars rover and stuff like that, which was very, very cool and very rewarding until it stopped. Till I basically got to the point where I wasn't writing software anymore. I was just in meetings and in corporate politics, and I really wasn't enjoying my job anymore. And then in like August of last year, I think it was, they made the whole software department redundant.
Wow.
And I had this like crossroads of like, I could join their parent company, which was a defense company, not a space company, and is really not my thing.
Yeah.
But it would be a safe job and a good salary. Or I could go all in on Tomahawk, and we were getting to the point where the numbers were starting to maybe make sense, and I've got enough savings from the redundancy and other stuff that like I can go a year and be fine for a year without taking anything out, and I'd still be okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, let's do a year, full-time Tomahawk, every tour event, everything I can do, and then we can reevaluate the end of the year. And that's basically it.
That's so brave. I know when I made a similar decision, there was a number and there was a time frame. And if we weren't hitting that number, we couldn't. I was on the least amount of money possible for me to survive. But then I was able to put all my time into it. It felt so much freedom. And like I never worked a day in my life when I was with this. And I feel like you have that same vibe.
I've got that number. I've got that I've got that time frame. I've got the number. But like,
so are you now aiming for a number, or is that number happening?
It's well, it being April, obviously much harder to do over January, February, March, because it's so seasonal. It was at the end of the year. It was like happening 2 out of every 4 months. I would say at the end of the year, I was like making enough where I was like, if I took the profit from this month, I could eat and pay my mortgage. Let's try
goals.
it.
Absolute goals.
So I was like, cool, okay, so it's theoretically possible. If I go as hard as possible this year, let's see if I can A, grow it a bit more, and B, get to the point where I am hitting that number.
That's amazing. If anyone's watching this, go support Tomahawk. Go follow their social. Go check out your website. If Tomahawk aren't stocking anything that you want, let me know. Let Tom know, so then you can work that into what's happening. And personally, come from where I am, having someone full time in the sport does so much. It pushes everything along so much, and having someone like you in that seat, I think, is incredible. And I'd love to keep you there for as long as possible.
Thanks,
so hopefully we can have this talk in a year's time. And you're like, everything's gravy, we're all good. That number that I was only hitting 2 out of 4 months, 12 out of 12.
12 out of 12,
we're all good. And I promise you that it's well worth it. We need someone in the sport full time that has your community care at the front of your business vision. Any betting person who is like, do you know what, 50% of the time we're good, would be quite wary about going in. What was your main reason to be like, do you know what, I have to give this a go?
I think it's quite simple, actually. I'm so much happier doing this than I was a year ago doing software, and that to me is everything. And I was raised by amazing parents that, my dad was in the RAF and then a pilot afterwards and a paraglider, and he was born to be in the air, right? And that was his thing. He loved it. And I learned from his example, you do what you love. And life is about being happy, not money and stuff like that. So it was a pretty easy decision in that regard. So yeah, I think it just came down to that. And it's if I can make it possible and enjoy it as much as I am, great. But if either of those things go away, I'll reevaluate at the end, because it's not worth doing if I'm not happy either. So
correct. Yeah, 100%. I really like your dad's sentiment. I think there's nothing truer than doing something you're passionate about means you're happy every single day. And having flip-flopped through all of that through my life. It's definitely a lesson that I'm learning too. When it comes to Tomahawk, what does an ordinary day look like for you? Or should you say an ordinary week? Is that like a kind of like...
I think, I don't know, I think the routine is pretty down now in terms of, it depends, right? Because if I've got, it varies depending on, do I have a tournament coming up? Do I have a release coming up? But it's generally, I wake up, if I play disc golf, great. If I don't, then it's like 9 till like 2 is taking photos or editing or something like that. And then like 2 p.m. is the order cutoff time.
Yep.
And that's when like any orders that were before 2, I'd start prepping at 2 basically. And I'll go do my run, which is like go to the storage locker, pick up any discs I need, bring them all back, pack up all the orders.
Oh goodness gracious, they're in a storage locker?
Is there like half and half? I think I've got like, maybe 1,500 discs now, something like that.
Nice.
And there's maybe 400, 500 at my house, and then about 1,000 at a storage locker.
That's really hard to keep on top of.
Yeah, it can be tough. Yeah. So it's quite well organized. I mean, actually, no, it's a bomb site right now because of the tournament, but usually it's pretty well organized. So yeah, then I'll pack up the orders and then walk to the post office and post my orders. And then that's usually done by 4, and then it's either take more photos or prep more stuff, and then generally finish at like 6. If there's a deadline, I'll go to like 10, but then chill out with the girlfriend after that.
I absolutely love that. Tom, we are losing light, and we're also losing battery power as well. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've got hours of questions for you.
Yeah.
So if everyone has enjoyed this, please let us know. I've got a bunch of other questions. You're running a tournament this weekend. That's why we're here. And I've got a load of other questions regards to TD and everything else. If we've got time, we'll continue this conversation.
Awesome.
If not, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Me as well.
Thanks for being the first guest on Shelf Life.
No worries. Thank you. You were the inspiration for Tomahawk. So yeah.
That's so nice. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Shelf Life. A massive thank you to Tom Sutton for taking the time to sit down with me and talk so openly about his journey with Tomahawk. If you want to go check out his store or social media links, they're all down in the description below. If you enjoyed Tomahawk's story and you want to hear another one, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below who you want featured in the next video. Maybe it's you who own a store. Maybe it's you who run an event. I want to hear from you. I want to tell your story. Because this is Shelf Life. I am Bubba. And until next time, stay awesome.